Dear all, we welcome you for this webinar on law as a career option. We thank University of Law UK for supporting this webinar. We have with us Ms. Rumi Matambo from the university. She's a business and management tutor from the Birmingham campus. She has worked as a lecturer in institutions since 2013. Rumi holds an undergraduate law degree from Nottingham Trent University and a master's in educational leadership and management from the University of Warwick. She teaches across the LLB and GDL programs. I am now going to introduce Mr. Jitin Chawla, who is an eminent career counselor. He is an MBA graduate from one of the topmost business institutes of India, Faculty of Management Studies. Mr. Chawla is the founder and director of North India's topmost career counseling firm, Center for Career Development, which is located in Delhi. He's a member of National Career Development Association, USA, and actively participates in international conferences in various countries. Moreover, he's also an editorial advisor for Types, a journal published by Transitions Group USA.
Thanks a lot for introducing. So guys, welcome here, and today we'll be discussing about law. If 20 years back the law as a career had a different perception, and today it is quite different. Things have quite changed from that time. In terms of job opportunities, law is one field which has phenomenally gone up. I mean, there has been an exponential growth in this as a career option. I have helped students from various backgrounds, like from a science background, from a commerce background, and even humanities, of course, pursue law, and people have done well. I'll highlight one or two cases where people have taken up law as a career option and they have done well. So I welcome all of you, and we'll now quickly start. Yeah, next, please. So, and it's not only that, like, you can take up law and kind of start working in the legal profession or start visiting courts. Lot of people think like that. It is all across. Hello, Swati Mishra, how are you? So, for people who have chosen law, I see them today working in consulting firms like Deloitte, KPMG, and so on. I see people working in, they're working in a large company, Nestle, Unilever, Indian Oil Corporation. I see them working in government departments, of course, legal firms. So I'll cover in detail what kind of choices are there. But today, there are tremendous choices, guys, tremendous. Next. So there are some core areas, of course, but beyond that also, like you can be in mediation. So one of somebody who was known to me, they were looking at, I mean, they were in a case which is a crime for women. A crime for women cell is there. Now lawyers there were mediators. So their role was to mediate between the girl's family and the boy's family and then help them. Yeah, there might be some paralegal careers, secretarial, this thing. Of course, consulting, I just spoke of Deloitte, KPMG, and so on. Hi, Neon Gaming, how are you? Next. So, a lot of diverse areas you can look at. Yeah. Of course, these are like traditional careers, criminal law, for instance. So, a lot of people think that if I need to get in and build up a name in this, then I need some background. Background, if you have, or the family has been law, initially it will help you, but subsequently it might not matter. So, Sarthak, I think we have jumped somewhere. Can you just come back? Yeah. Yeah. So, but increasingly, as India keeps on growing, uh, there are opportunities in this field. We can also look at employment law. Again, there are issues related to that which people get into. Family law is something which has come up. Do you know that there are today divorce lawyers who will specialize, and divorce lawyers who would be trusted more by the females because they'll be able to effectively negotiate, or similarly on the male side. Yeah. So depending on which area of interest you have, once you are doing internships, then you can choose that what you want to do. Next. Good evening, Ms. Neelakantan, and good evening, Aditi. Yeah, Nidhi will discuss job prospects in UK after LLM. Corporate side, it's a huge career. You know that there are issues related to taxation. Yeah. So you have seen the Vodafone case. If you have not, you should see Vodafone case which was done. Like government filed a case of Vodafone and against Vodafone, sorry, and they built up. And second thing is, some two corporates might be fighting against each other. So they might be having why Coca-Cola pulled in a lot of people from Pepsi, things like those. You understand? Pooja is asking, I want to know how law and crime psychology help each other. So again, Pooja, like you might be a mediator who's helping people reform. You know, so there are people who work in this sector in police systems or a specialized department who are helping communities reform. So, because of various social factors, and even in India, there are regions which breed criminals. It is considered to be absolutely okay to take up criminal activities as a career option. Yeah. So a good person who has done law as well as criminal psychology can effectively work here. Yeah. Are lawyers in demand in UK? Yes. If you go and check, you'll find they are paid very well. Good evening, Jyoti, and good evening, Sahil. If being a judge or magistrate, so judge or magistrate, they will earn fixed income, but a lot of respect. Whereas advocate, if you are a well, you know people like Ram Jethmalani, for one appearance they were charging a 10 lakh rupees, 15 lakh, 20 lakh rupees, one appearance. Yeah, maybe they're just going for half an hour. So, so Vrinda Bharadwaj, if you are a judge or magistrate, you earn respect more. You are very powerful. If you're an advocate, you can earn much more money. Okay. So I'll take queries towards the end, guys. Let me complete this fast. Mergers and acquisition. So imagine like Daiichi took over Renbaxi, or Jabong was taken over by Flipkart. Now, in that case, there'll be a team of lawyers, financial experts who would have sat down and they would have hammered out a deal. Okay, so that is how it is. Media and entertainment law. So this again is something which is huge area, because a lot of collaborations exist. You might have seen some program is coming on Netflix, but it has been made by another company, which has been actually subcontracted to another third company. Yeah, or two companies get together and they co-produce something. There are broadcasting contracts that you can use our serial or movie for only this. Yeah, so those rights are given. Okay, songwriter agreements are there. Do you know that in a party you cannot play just like that? You are having a party above some numbers, I'll have to check. Maybe if you have a party above 20 people, you cannot play songs publicly. You have to kind of take a permission for it. You know that you can be sued, you are liable. Yeah. Artist agreement, digital marketing agreement, distribution agreement. Check out company like Nasper. Nasper faced a lot of issues because they just flouted all the agreements. They didn't care about the big companies, Sony had tied up with a lot of studios and so on. So check out Nasper, what had happened. Yeah. Then of course, any kind of vendor agreements, recording. So all these are used in media and entertainment. I'm just giving you an example of what is happening in media and entertainment in detail. Yeah. Next. Data protection and privacy law. So in Europe, in fact, I have a friend who stays in US. His company, what they are doing is they are helping website websites or apps or other companies purge public data. For example, a website had started or an app is there. Now somebody uses their Google profile to enter it, and they pull in the data and they keep it there. Yeah. So that is in Europe now, it's a crime. So they have given some time to companies to purge all the public available data so that people's privacy is respected. Yeah. I hope you understand. So So my friend's company, they help them in doing it. So that is when a data is very very important. Data security is very very important. So what will happen if privacy laws are broken? So that is again taken up by specialist lawyers. Next, all these jobs you can get, Nidhi. All these are jobs which I'm saying. So that is why I'm telling you, whether you are in India or abroad, these jobs will be there all across. You'll also be hearing from Rumbi about what is happening in UK as well as other areas. So she'll also highlight after some time. Cyber law. So let's say somebody has on your Facebook page, somebody posts in some bad comments, or they morph your picture and post it. Yeah. So they become liable. It might be that people have stolen away your passwords and they have tried to take your money out from the bank. Yeah. And so on. So hacking, virus transmission. Okay. So all these will be covered in cyber law. Insolvency and bankruptcy law. Like right now, a lot of big companies, even JP Group, Bush and Steel in India, they've been declared insolvent. In fact, more than 200 companies have been declared insolvent. So that is why insolvency and bankruptcy law, you can check IICA. IICA has a 6 month program where they cover various changes in corporate law. IICA has a 2 years program for insolvency. I think it's a new insolvency professionals demand is a new thing which is happening. You can do it from commerce side also. You can do it after law also. Next, Karman, some universities you can do without LNET also. Next, please. Mergers and acquisition. Yeah. So and this in the last 10 years this has increased phenomenally. Earlier, if I go back, in Indian market was not so mature when it came to mergers and acquisition. But today, and not only in India, just imagine, that Tatas have brought this company, Range Rover, the company which manufactures Range Rover. Yeah. So a lot of Indian companies, Infosys has bought a lot of companies abroad. So Indian companies which have grown big. Even I remember long time back, Hindalco. Hindalco is a Birla Group company, so they bought companies in 2 3 countries. So any large company has been buying companies outside India as well as in India. So merger and acquisition is big. Hence, if you specialize in this, there's no looking back. Next. Yes, Priyashi, you can study law from India and still work outside India. Of course, nothing is easy. It depends. If you get a good law firm, international law firm here in India, then you can use that and build up. Okay, e-commerce. I'm sure you would have read up. A lot of traders were against these e-commerce giants, Amazon, Flipkart, and all that. So, of course, the government put in place laws. So, FDA policy was defined, and even how labeling should be done, how packaging, everything was defined. Yeah, even refund rules and so on. So, any issues related to that will be covered under e-commerce laws. Again, this is a big field to look at. I would say if you are a person who's looking at options in an emerging area, then you look at e-commerce laws. It's a huge area. Next, healthcare law. Right now, also in the last 1.5 2 months, you would have seen relatives of patients heckling doctors and going after their life, breaking hospital furniture, other stuff because things didn't happen. Yeah, because people feel that we have been taken advantage of. So from both sides, from the doctor side also, from the patient side also. Patient side, you have patient rights. Similarly, a doctor has a right. See, a doctor, there might be doctors who are looking at heart operations. So maybe they're seeing a lot of deaths, but that doesn't mean that the doctor is liable. I mean, it's his job, and sometimes people cannot be saved. So healthcare laws will govern all of those. So right from understanding patient rights to medical privacy. Yeah. So though in India, medical privacy as a this thing is still coming up, and of course tax issues, because In India also there are a lot of organizations which are just helping out. You would have seen, this lot of Sikh organizations got together, and they funded makeshift hospitals. They funded oxygen concentrators. They funded. So they were even requesting the government to waive off the GST, because they say we are doing it for social good. Yeah. So these kind of issues are there in healthcare law. Next. Yes, Prosenjit, you can study LLB and come back to India. If you check Bar Council of India website, Bar Council of India, you'll find list of accredited institutes. So we can do that. Can we do LLB from India and become a judge out of India? Answer is yes. A judge in out of India. I would suggest if some other country you want to go, you can do further courses. Our lawyers in demand in Canada, like I've seen a lot of young people going and settling into areas like immigration law, international law. In Canada, though, you'll have to do a bachelor's first and then go for the law thing. Yeah, Sachin, Khalsa Aid is the program. Hello, Saran, how are you doing? Does international law have scope? Yes, we have. Let's look at some expert ideas right now. We have Miss Rumbi from University of Law UK, so she's here with me. And welcome, Miss Rumbi. People are waiting. I think there a lot of them are really excited about going outside India, and
Oh,
they've been,
brilliant.
yeah, asking me questions about outside India and especially UK also.
Yeah. Okay. No, thank you very much for having me and good evening. Thank you for joining me for today's session. So, what I'll do for the latter part, I'm going to take you through just a little bit about the University of Law and the
Yeah.
LLB course that we offer. I'll talk you through some of the changes in the specialist route if you want to become a barrister or a solicitor. And then I'll take some questions at the end of the session. Now, if there is anything that I might not be able to answer in this particular session, I'm going to give you my email address, my University of Law email address. By all means, please feel free to drop me an email with any questions that I was not able to answer, and I will reply you as soon as possible. Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen so we can go through this PowerPoint together. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'll talk you through just our undergraduate law courses, the different types that we have, but just a little bit of history about the University of Law. So we have 15 campuses in the UK and Hong Kong. We are one of the UK's longest established specialist providers of legal education. So majority of the lawyers and lawyers, I mean barristers and solicitors who are now in practice, some of them would have come through our doors and then got educated and went ahead and practiced. Some barristers who eventually became Queen's Counsel, who eventually became judges, would have come through our doors as well. We have trained more practicing lawyers in the UK than anyone else. I mean, we've been around since 1876. So that is a testament really to how successful and we are as a training provider and just the quality of education that we offer. We are an award winning pro bono and work experience teams. Now, for students, prospective students who do want to practice, one of the key distinguishing features that sets you apart from other students is the work experience that you have prior going into the workforce. Now, we have an excellent uh, award winning pro bono team. They are very good in helping you find that work experience, finding you that unpaid work experience that is valuable to make your CV credible when it comes to applying for jobs. We have one of the largest expert legal careers and employability in the UK, and one of the largest legal alumni groups with over 70,000 members around the globe. So, students who have graduated, who've gone on to work as solicitors, as advocates, they are part of our alumni. We still keep in touch with them, we still work with them. So, this really is a testament to the kind of institution that we are. Now, If you are thinking of qualifying as a lawyer, now you may or may not know this, but there are two types of lawyers in the UK. There are those known as solicitors. So solicitors deal with clients pretty much on a day-to-day basis. They are the first initial contact that a client would have with a legal representative. So they sort of handhold the client, they deal with their issues, etc. Your barristers are the ones that represent your clients in court. So they are the ones that advocate, they go to the court before a judge and advocate for a client's rights or they defend them, whichever one. Now, in order to qualify as one of these, you can either be a non-law graduate, so maybe you did a business management degree and you decided that you want to become a lawyer in the end. That is very much possible. You don't always have to start with a law degree. Okay, so you can start with a non-law degree. What you then have to do is to complete what's known as a conversion course. Now, this conversion course is very intense and compact in that you cover key modules in 1 year that students would cover over a 3 year course. So the key modules that students do over a 3 year law degree will be covered in this conversion course to put you on equal footing with students who have a law degree. Now, you can either do what's known as the graduate diploma in law, or you can have some modules that will give you a master's of arts in law that would help you to convert. Now, alternatively, if you are a law graduate, so you hold a law degree, okay, the next thing, if you're going to become a solicitor, is to undertake the legal practice course known as the LPC. Now, the LPC really helps to equip you with the skills that you would need in the workforce if you were to join a law firm or you would become an in house solicitor. LPC gives you those skills that are needed to practice as a lawyer. Once you've completed the legal practice course, the next stage is to obtain what's known as a training contract. Now, think of a training contract as work experience. So, this is law related work experience. So, you would be attached to a law firm for those 2 years, and you'd have different sittings. You'd have different months where you might focus on mergers and acquisitions. You'd have different months where you focus on client care, etc., just to give you that experience you have. So, once you've passed the legal practice course and you've successfully completed your 2 year training contract, then you'll be admitted as a solicitor. So you put on the solicitor's role and then you can now practice as a solicitor in the UK. Alternatively, if you wanted to become a barrister, so these are the individuals who defend the clients in court, stand before a judge, you would have to undertake the bar practice course, which is the BPC. Once you successfully complete the BPC, you are called to the bar. Once you are called to the bar, you have 1 year pupillage, which is the same as a training contract. This is a pupillage which you will complete. It's a work experience you complete in a chambers. Okay, so you are attached to particular chambers. You complete that pupillage in 1 year, and once that is completed, you are now a qualified barrister. So those are the two types of lawyers that exist, and those are the routes that you can take to become a qualified lawyer. Now, you may or may not know this, but the route to becoming a lawyer is changing as of um, September 2021. So, when we start the new academic year. Now, um, this change is going to get introduced, the traditional route to become a solicitor was the LPC, which I've just taken you through, the legal practice course, the training contract, and then you qualify as a solicitor. Now, the SQE is a change that is coming in. Now, the SQE is a single rigorous assessment for all aspiring solicitors. What this is that everyone who becomes a solicitor will meet the same high standards in a consistent way. Now, if you just look at the bottom of this screen, if you look September 2021, we will introduce the SQE. Okay. Now, The SQE is going to be phased in to become the new centralized way to qualify as a solicitor in England and Wales. So, what this means is if you are to study with us in September, you do have a choice. You can either take the SQE route, which I will talk you through, or you can take the traditional route, which is the LPC training contract, and then become a qualified solicitor. So, this new SQE will eventually replace the current route to practice. So it is eventually going to replace the LPC. So in 2032, that is when the LPC expires. So anyone who wants to become a solicitor after 2032 will have to do the solicitor's qualifying exam, the SQE. But before that, you do have a choice. You can either do the LPC or the SQE. Now, our team at the University of Law has designed a suite of courses, materials, and tools to prepare both law and and non-law graduates for a career as a solicitor. And what we've done as well is we're going to prepare you for the SQE exam success. All of the courses that we offer meets the requirements of legal recruiters who want their future trainees to have knowledge and skills beyond the SQE. So, how will solicitors qualify then using this SQE route? First thing is you'll have a degree in any subject, or you'll have a law degree, it's up to you, or a qualification or experience that is equivalent to a degree. For example, some people in the UK work as solicitor apprenticeships, so they work in a law firm whilst they're completing their degree. Whichever route you take, you have to have a degree in any subject. Second stage is to pass both stages of the SQE. So the SQE1, the solicitor's qualifying exam, comes in two stages. There is the SQE1 and the SQE2, which I will talk you through on the next slide. Third thing is to complete 2 years of full time or equivalent qualifying work experience. So, this is similar to that training contract I spoke to you about. So, you will still need that qualifying work experience before you practice as a solicitor. And then finally, you have to meet the SRA's, the Solicitor Regulation Authority's character and suitability requirements. So, just a little bit more then about these changes. So this new qualifying route, you start off as a graduate, okay? The next stage is to pass the SQE1, so the Solicitor Qualifying Exam 1. Now, this exam is made up of practical knowledge. So it is functioning legal knowledge. What this SQE1 does is that it is assessed by a single best answer multiple choice question. So you've got multiple choice questions and you select the best answer, and this is done over a 2-day period. Some of the modules you will cover in this exam are business law and practice, dispute resolution, contracts law, a bit of tort, legal systems of England and Wales. On the second stage, the SQE2, this covers functional legal knowledge and focuses particularly on the skills experience. So you will look at, sorry, pardon me. So functional legal knowledge 1, functional legal knowledge 2 covers property practice, wills and administration. You'll look at land law. You might look at criminal law and practice. Now, in order to pass this first stage of SQE1, you must achieve an overall pass mark for both the components of this exam. The second stage is the SQE2. SQE2 focuses on the practical legal skills and knowledge. So this assessment will be taken over 5 days, and it involves a combination of written and oral based tasks. So you will look at how to interview a client and how to write an attendance note if you meet a client. You will look at how to conduct legal research, how to conduct legal writing or legal drafting. You will look at property practice, you look at wills, probate matters, etc. So there's quite a lot that you'll be assessed on. Once you complete those 2 stages of the exam, You then have to do your 2 years qualifying work experience, and then you can practice. You are now a qualified solicitor. So that those are the new changes that are coming in September 2021. But remember, you have a choice. You can go through the SQE route, or you can do the legal practice course. The legal practice course is going to be available until 2032. So that is a route that is still available for students. So please don't feel under pressure that, oh, it looks like it's a lot, it might be too difficult. You have a choice as to which route you want to take. Now, in terms of the right degree for you, one of the things that stands us apart as the University of Law amongst other universities is that we offer a diverse range of degrees. Now, some students want to complete their law degree in a short amount of time. If that is you, you can undertake the 2 year accelerated LLB degree, or alternatively, you can undertake the 3 year degree, which is the standard degree, law degree that students undertake. With the 3 year LLB, there's an optional international foundation program. If you do want to know more about that, I'll put my email at the end and you can just drop me an email. You can undertake LLB with international business, or law with criminology, or law with government and politics, or senior status, or international foundation program law. There are a lot of routes, a lot of degrees, various degrees, depending on what interests you, that you can take. With all of these, you can still qualify and practice as a lawyer because you would have completed the prerequisite modules that you need for a qualifying law degree. Alternatively, if maybe you want to study online, so you want to stay in India, but you do want to study online, you want to complete your law degree with the University of Law, there is an option. So there is a 3, a 4, or a 6 year degree available to you. Again, similar to the ones before, you can do straight law, law with business, law with international business, law with criminology, or with government and politics, or senior status, or international foundation program law. So these are all just different ways for you to study that we have put in place for students to meet the various needs that are available. Now, as part of your law degree, these are the core modules you'll have to complete. So you have to study the 7 foundation subjects that are covered in all law degrees. So it doesn't matter which institution you go to, whether you go to the University of Law or another institution in the UK. These 7 will be present in any law degree that you're going to study. So you look at European Union law. So you look at EU law. You might look at tort law. Tort covers things such as negligence. You cover medical negligence. You cover occupiers liability, etc. You look at contract law. So the rules that govern contracts when 2 people come into an agreement that they want to be legally binding. What are the rules they have to abide by? So you study a bit of contract law, you will look at equity and trust, you will look at public law, you will look at criminal law, and finally land law. So these are what we call the foundation modules that make up a law degree. In terms of the structure then of your first year, if you're to start with us in September, now our terms or semesters are broken down in 2 weeks. Now, each semester you will cover 3 modules. Okay, so autumn semester starts in September, and the 3 modules you'll be looking at are common law method and ethics, academic and professional skills, and law of contract. Now, with each module you look at, you have to attend what are known as large groups or what you may know as lectures. So in lectures, there's a large number of students who will be present. So you attend lectures in the first week. The following week, you'll attend a workshop. So a workshop is a smaller teaching group with fewer students, so you can get that one-to-one support. So let's take, for example, this common law method and ethics module. So week one, when we start uni, will be freshers week. There is no teaching at all. It is induction. You're getting assimilated into how we do things at University of Law. You're getting your student badge, your login details, your materials. You're being taught how to change your password, etc. And just the rules, just to make sure that you understand and you feel welcome as a student. Now, after Freshers Week, the real work begins. Your large group sessions, which are your lectures, will start in week two. So in week two, you have your first large group. Your workshops will start the following week. So whatever you cover in large group one, you will then have a small group, a small teaching group for it the following week, which is workshop one. The reason is to give you ample time to consolidate what you've studied, what you've learned, to do further reading, and give you a week to prepare for your workshop the following week. So, large group one in week two, workshop one is the following week. Large group two, you have the workshop the following week, and etc. You have 11 weeks of large groups and 11 weeks of workshop. This then brings you to the end of the term. This is just a couple of weeks before Christmas. You have a revision week, so more like a reading week. You will now start preparing for your final assessments for this particular semester. You then break for Christmas. After the Christmas break, you have one more week, which is your revision or holiday week. And then your assessments will take place, your final assessments for this autumn semester, so that's September to December modules, will take place, I think it is end of January, if I stand corrected, end of January, beginning of February. Then you have one week of holiday just to take a break from everything you've done. And we start the spring semester. So in spring, you will then look at European Union law, you look at tort law and public law. And again, your spring semester is broken down the same way. You have 11 weeks of teaching, 11 weeks of workshop. You then have a revision and you have your holidays, and then your assessments will kick in end of mid-May to end of May. That's when your assessment period will be. And that will be the end of your academic year. So this is how your first year is broken down. Now, the dates of these weeks will be given to you when you do start in September. That's when you'll know which date your specific assessments fall in, which date you have to attend your large group, which date you have to attend your workshops. Now, I talked a little bit about the core modules. If you remember in slide 8, the core modules you have to cover. Now, you do have a choice of some optionals or electives as well. Now, after you've completed your core modules in the first year, you will have some options that you are free to choose in your second and third year. Now, second and third year, you still have some core modules you have to do. Okay, so these generally will include criminal law, law of organizations, land law, transactions, etc. So you still have to undertake some core modules, but you have a choice now to pick areas of the law that interest you, areas of the law that you may want to study. So during the first semester of your second and third year, you will pick 3 optional modules to study in each year. Now, a few examples, these are not all of them, but these are just some of the examples of the options we have. So, for example, you may want to study human rights, or you may want to pick family law, or maybe you have an interest in employment law, in employee rights and protecting employees, etc. Or maybe just how businesses can protect themselves and can protect their employees, drafting of employee contracts, all those things. Maybe that's an interest to you. These are some of the options that you may pick in your second and third year. Now, you will find that companies allow students to explore, practical elements of business and corporate law. So this allows you to sort of pick and choose some of the modules you want to make up your degree. So this is just an example of the options that we offer. In terms of assessments, you will want to know, I assume, how you're going to be assessed. What we've done, as well as teaching, um, the context time you have includes providing, sessions on assessment techniques or assessment feedback. So we have different ways how we assess students. And the reason we have different ways is to meet learner needs, to give you a different range of ways to be assessed. For example, you might be asked to complete a coursework, or so this is a long essay, so you might be assessed in one of your modules via a coursework. Your academic and professional skills, your common law method and ethics, and your EU law will be assessed by coursework. Alternatively, other modules are assessed by exams, which I know most of you will be familiar with. So, for example, your contract and public law modules are assessed by a 2-hour closed book exam. Okay. And finally, some assessments will be oral assessments. So you will have to do a presentation and a short coursework. So, tort law is a very good example of a module that you have to do an oral assessment. You have to do a mini presentation before your tutor, and they will assess you and give you a grade. So, these are just some of the various assessment modules, methods that we have. Now, in addition to your normal assessments, you will have to do mock assessments. So these are practice assessments halfway through your modules. So normally you'll have to prep in the form of mock assessments halfway through your term to help you prepare for what you're going to face. Your mock assessments tend to come around week 6 of each term. So you'll have mock assessments in common law method and ethics, academic and professional skills, law of tort, and EU law. So halfway through the module, you will have your mock assessment. And the beauty of mock assessments is that tutors can give you feedback on how you can improve in the real assessment at the end of the term. All the courses that we have, are built to prepare students for assessments and for later life. So, for example, if you look at how we assess tort, that oral presentation, it's designed to provide practice and development in oral skills. If you're going to be a lawyer, you will need to know how to speak up. You will need to articulate yourself. You will need to know how to put your arguments across in a clear and concise way. And one of the ways we are aiming to develop that skill is to assess you and build that skill through toward law. So everything ties to, employability in the end to help you get that job in the end. Now, key features of our LLB. We have very high contact hours, up to 12 hours a week. You'll either be in a large group or a workshop. Okay, you are allocated a personal tutor. Your personal tutor really is the person you go to with any concerns you have, whether you are struggling, with just coping with the course, or maybe you want to ask some course related questions, or maybe you just need additional support. They are your go to person, they are your personal tutor, they are there for you. We operate on an open door policy. So all you need to do is just email your tutor and ask, for an appointment, and they will meet with you. You can have as many appointments as you need. Okay, you're allocated this personal tutor for the duration of your study at University of Law. We have a professional focus. The end goal here is to get you into practice, to get you into the job that you are studying for. Our courses are taught by qualified lawyers. So these are individuals who have come from practice, who know what employers are looking for. These are going to be your lecturers. We have small interactive workshops. Understandably, it's very hard in a large group to, like today, to ask as many questions as you want. So in order to counter that, you have these small interactive workshops where there's about 15 or 20 of you with your tutor, where you can ask and go through everything in more detail at a more slower pace, and you have activities that you cover. Our course is built on employability, again, to give you those skills to get you into the workplace. And there's an overview of the legal system and in-depth analysis of key areas of the law. Employability.
Rumbi, hi.
Hiya.
Sorry for interrupting you.
No
We
worries.
have a lot of questions for your university per se. So,
Okay.
do you mind like taking up the questions because we are running out of time as well?
Okay, I just have just three slides to do. So let me
Sure.
just quickly rush through the three slides and then
Yes, please.
I'll take
Quickly.
any questions.
Thank you.
Awesome. So
Thank you.
we have a high employability. 94% of our students are were in employment, highly skilled occupation 15 months after graduation. So those are very, very good data. And we work with 90 of the top 100 law firms in England and Wales. Now that says a lot about the quality of education that we offer. And in terms of employability, you will get one-to-one careers advice. You will get employer talks. You'll get help with writing your CV and preparing for interviews. There's a job vacancy database that you can check to help you apply for jobs. And we offer help with securing pro bono and work experience. We have scholarships and bursaries available as well. So we have over 2 million available just to help students with that financial aspect of their courses. We also offer international bursaries for our international students who want to study with us. And if you do have any questions, do check our website. Also, email international@law.ac.uk. Check our social media pages as well for what's going on and what is up to date. And do take a look at the University of Law website. I am going to put my email address in the chat box. So you can drop me an email if there's anything I'm unable to answer in this session because we're running out of time, or um, you do need any additional information. Okay, I'll take questions. Right. Where apologies, where do I find the questions from students?
So I'll be just showcasing the questions from the students on the screen, and if you
Okay,
could take that one by one. Can you see the
okay.
questions on the screen?
Yes, I can. So if I have
Yeah.
cleared B-side exam in India and become advocate, can we also are we also eligible to become advocate of judge in the UK? So if you have an international law qualification, you will obviously have to meet the requirements to practice in the UK. Now, remember, to become a judge in the UK, you need to have some work experience. You need to have practiced as an what you would call an advocate in India. So you can, but you will have to meet, the entry requirements and take any additional courses that are available before you can actually become a judge in the UK. Admission criteria, right? Oh, I didn't bring that. Admission for our undergraduate law degrees, I believe, apologies, off the top of my head, I think you will need apologies, let me just bring it up. I do apologize for that. I didn't have that information um, at hand with me. 1 second. Right. Okay, so if you do want to study law, our undergraduate degree, you will obviously need an A level or A level equivalent at grade B. So you need three subjects, B or above. Or international baccalaureate IB, you need 29 points. Or if you've done a BTEC, you'll need two distinctions and a merit. Now, I for applicants whose first language is not English, you will need an IELTS, uh, English language equivalent of 6.5 or above. Now, in terms of the requirements for our international students, because I appreciate that some of you will not know what a BTEC is, or you won't have done what A level, what an A level is. What I will do is I'm going to forward that information. I'll get that admission information from our admissions team for international students, and I will forward it to Christina, who will then pass it on to Gus for you. In terms of the IELTS, yes, you do need, IELTS. Like I said, you need IELTS 6.5 or above with a minimum of 6.0 in each component of, the parts that will do. Please tell the scholarships you provide and its eligibility. So we have a various number of scholarships to offer for our international students. Again, I didn't bring the details of the scholarships that we offer, but I'm going to put this information in a handout and send it to Gus so they can forward it to you. Fees and scholarship again. Okay. So in terms of fees for our international students, bear with me 1 second. I had this written down somewhere. Oh.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry to interrupt. So I'll
That's
be
great.
sending the information about the fee, scholarship, and
Oh,
the
perfect.
IELTS and everything to the students. So I'll send a
Oh,
handout to everybody on that.
brilliant. Thank you. Thank you. That's awesome. Thank you for that. So any scholarships, any fees issues will be dealt with. I mean, if there's anything I can provide, please drop me an email and I'll chase it down my end. Next question. If I'm already a non-law graduate, what would you recommend, a GDL or a 2-year LLB? If you're already a non-law graduate, I would say go for the GDL because you can complete the GDL, in 1 year. And again, you cover the same modules you would cover on a 3-year law degree. So I would advise you go for the GDL, you do your core modules. It is intense, but you complete that conversion course in a year. So I would advise you go for that. Can I practice law abroad with an LLB degree from India and come back and offer higher judiciary services with 7 years experience? Uh, can I practice law abroad with an LLB degree from India? Okay. I'm just trying to understand. Offer higher, do you mean then become a judge back in India, or sorry, Dipti, could you just clarify that question for me? What specializations are available for for available Ed Masters level in law? Again, what I'll do, I'll send this information, our prospectus information to cover the different modules I'm aware of, obviously the time. I'll send the different information of the modules that our MA law cover at undergraduate level. As I mentioned, you will cover criminal law, tort law, you cover European Union law. Those are just some of the mandatory or the core modules. Then you will have options. You'll have a choice in your second and third year to choose any options you want to do, up to 3 options to make up your law degree. So those, again, what we tend to do is at the beginning of the second year, we hold an options fair where you speak to different tutors who teach different modules to help you choose uh, the ones that you want. Uh, what all what all specially available for international students as undergraduate and masters? Aditi, the same modules that we offer our home students are the same modules that are offered for international students. So our degree caters to both
Hmm.
international and to home students. Admission criteria, I talked about a little bit. In terms of the fee structure, I think Priya did say that she's going to share that the fee structure and how you pay. You are going to get that information. Unfortunately, I don't have any information on fees and admissions criteria, but you will be able to get that. Can I do law after doing 3 years of digital business innovation? How can I go about it? That is all. um, Okay, yeah. So it doesn't matter what degree you've done. So even if, as I mentioned earlier, even if you've done, an English literature degree and you want to practice, you can do the conversion course. You can do the GDL course. So you don't have to come to the UK and do the LLB again. You can do a conversion course, which is better BA LLB or BBA LLB? I do apologize, Sachin. Those two terms are unfamiliar to me. But what I will say in terms of the structure of just the legal system here and the law degree that I did that we offer, if you do want to pursue corporate law, so once you've done the LLB and you graduated, when you go and do your LPC, do pick modules that are your electives that are tied with corporate law, so mergers and acquisitions, etc. You will want to pick modules that are in line with the area of law you want to practice in. What jobs can we get with a law degree in the UK? Now, law degree in the UK, this is a good stepping stone. You can go into any industry you want. It's a good foundation degree. If you do not want to practice, you can go into human resources. You can pretty much go into any industry. You can go into teaching, lecturing if you wanted. You can go into education, any type of education, professional education, etc. So there are so many different types of degrees, jobs. You can go and work with businesses as well because that knowledge and those skills you've acquired as part of your law degree are essential. They will help you in whatever industry you choose. In So I'm unable to answer that question regarding the LNET exam. I think someone
I'll
from your end will be able to pick that up.
So, Karan, you do not have to give any LNAT exam to go and study law in UK. You can directly enroll to a law program in UK after your 12th or after. If you have done undergrad in law, then you can pursue LLM or do a conversion course and do GDL there. Oh, sorry, LPC or BPC there. Yeah.
Okay, Bhavna, can you please throw some light on the pupillage after passing the bar exam or the visa sponsorship after SQE for non UK citizens? Okay, so I can help with the first part regarding the bar exam, but in terms of the visa sponsorships, I think you'll be better equipped to answer that for me. So in terms of the bar exam, so once you've completed your bar exam, you have to do the pupillage. Now, pupillage is just a mini work experience that you undertake as part of a chambers. So our barristers in the UK are self-employed. They're different to, solicitors who will work for a firm. So barristers will have to take on a case by case and get paid, for those cases they take on. So with a pupillage, what this does is you're part of an ends of court. Okay, so you work in a chambers with another group of barristers and you take on cases that would have been referred to you. Okay, so after you pass the bar exam, you want to secure that pupillage because that pupillage, once you successfully complete that pupillage, you are now able to take on cases as a barrister and defend clients. Can I do 3 undergrad or do 4 year, aka 8 semester undergrad? I'm asking about the eligibility here. It's completely up to you. It is completely up to you whichever degree that suits you. So you can decide whether you want to do the 3 year one or you want to do the 4 year one. That really depends on, your own personal circumstances and what it is you want to achieve. It's really ultimately the decision is yours. The decision is yours. You can pick or choose whichever one you want to do. Um, can I do real estate business in the UK after doing LLM? Now, I'm assuming you're talking about not practicing real estate law, but maybe running real estate business. Again, yes, you can. You have a master's in law, you have an undergraduate in law, and a master's in law. So obviously you will need to comply with the requirements of running a business in the UK, etc. And it depends, are you looking to go into commercial or residential properties? But that avenue is open to you. That avenue is open to you. If there are any other eligibility requirements that are needed, you will obviously have to meet that. Do we get a 2 year? Um, Sorry, I'm unable to see that last question.
Uh,
Okay. Do we get a 2 year work visa in the UK for pursuing a 1 year GDL? Again, visa requirements, I can't comment on that. I am unsure, but I will be able to raise that and send the information over to Gus regarding the work visa. So I don't have any information regarding the work visa. I can just comment really about the structure of the LLB and what we offer.
Bhuvan, I'll answer your question later about the work visa, the PSW.
Okay. If there are, if there's anything else that you may want from my end that is course related, by all means, I've put my email there. Please drop me an email. Do not hesitate, whatever question it is. I appreciate I wasn't able to answer all the questions, but I will get the information to you. So drop me an email and I will respond to these. If you send them this weekend, I'll get back to you on Monday.
That's great. Thank you, Romi. It was an amazingly detailed presentation, and I think students are pretty excited about this opportunity, and they will definitely get in touch with you.
Okay.
Students, if you need anything else, you can contact us. Our numbers are also provided here. So it was great being with you, Rumbi, and doing this session.
Thank you very
So
much for having me.
welcome. Welcome. So thanks a lot, guys. Thank you for participation, and I will see you soon in another session. Take care. Bye bye. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Jitin. Thank you,
Thank
Rimbi.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.